Well, good morning and welcome to lesson 37 of A Course in Miracles, which is My Holiness Blesses the World. And one of the things that I find when I speak to people about the Course, as soon as you mention the word God or holiness or anything, there's this kind of like, oh. But it's one of those things that really brings to ground the nature of our truth, the nature of our true self, and in the recognition that the unawakened mind, that I don't remember what God is. So why would you therefore recoil against it? Right? And if you're reading the Course, you'll be going through the blocks to peace. And the last block to peace is believing that there actually is a block to peace. The first block, I think, is the desire to get rid of it, and then you've got the belief the body's valuable, and then there's the fear of death, and then there's the fear of love, which is the last one, believing that there's a block. And when you go through these holiness lessons, it reacquaints you with something that you haven't thought about, haven't tried to connect with for lifetimes. It starts to reintroduce you to something that you've put a big "don't go there" road sign across your path, but you can't remember why. It's kind of dumb. It's the is the place where you're doing this to heaven, or to God. It's just like, no, fuck you, I'm going to have my own reality, my own thing, and I'm using free will to maintain it. And how's that working out? Well, I've got this book with 365 lessons to try and get me out of the pickle I got myself into. So in the thing that I like, I'll just read the first couple of lines here. This idea contains the first glimmerings of your true function in the world, or why you are here. Your purpose is to see the world through your own holiness. Right, now that might sound to some like a load of waffle, and it might sound to others a bit too lofty. I'm never going to be able to get that. But the purpose is to see the world through your own holiness. You have a purpose for being here in the world. You just don't remember that you have it, because when you come here, your mind gets wiped. You have amnesia. I don't know why I'm here, what I'm here to do, what the world's about, nothing. Like, you forget all that shit. And nobody gives you a little book at the, when you're born and says, right, welcome to the world now. We've got a job to do, and this is, But here you're being reminded, the idea contains the first glimmerings of your true function in the world, or why you are here. The purpose is to see the world through your own holiness. Thus are you and the world blessed together. We're here to bring the light to the dark, or to transform the dark to a perception of an altruistic sense of things that will remind us and guide us to an experience of the light. Right. Thus are you and the world blessed together. No one loses, nothing is taken away from anyone. Everyone gains through your holy vision. It signifies the end of sacrifice, because it offers everyone his full due. You're entitled to everything. Not later, not sometime when you become more saintly or something ridiculous like that, but just now, as you are, with all your lumps and bumps, it offers everyone his full due. And he's entitled to everything because it is his birthright as a son of God. There is no other way in which the idea of sacrifice can be removed from the world's thinking. Any other way of seeing will inevitably demand payment of someone or something. You understand that? Any other way of seeing will inevitably demand payment of someone or something. And there's a lot of people that travel the world teaching this course, or purporting to teach this course, who do demand payment. In a physical sense, right? Not just through the loss of true identity, but as the payment is kind of referring to here, but physical payment, money, dollars and cents. It's just like, walk away from those people. You don't need those people. You got it within you already. The Holy Spirit comes from in here, and together in this collaborative venture, you and I are joining in a true purpose, wherein we're going to endeavor to bring about the reversal of our thought system, and experience the reality of ourselves as we truly are, so we can bless the world with our holiness, which we're doing now, but in a in a kind of a limited regard sometimes, in our own awareness of ourselves. Ah dear. Any other way of seeing will inevitably demand payment of someone or something. As a result, the perceiver will lose, nor will he have any idea why he is losing. Yet is his wholeness restored to his awareness through your vision. Your holiness blesses him by asking nothing of him. Those who see themselves as whole make no demands. Those who see themselves as whole make no demands. Your holiness is the salvation of the world. It lets you teach the world that it is one with you, not by preaching to it, not by telling it anything, but merely by your quiet recognition that in your holiness are all things blessed along with you. Today's 4 longer exercise periods each involve 3 to 5 minutes of practice. Begin with the repetition of the idea for today, followed by a minute or so of looking about you as you apply the idea to whatever you see. My holiness blesses this chair. My holiness blesses this window. My holiness blesses this body. Then close your eyes and apply the idea to any person who occurs to you, using his name and saying, my holiness blesses you, such and such. You may continue the practice period with your eyes closed. You may open your eyes again and apply the idea for today to your outer world if you so desire. My holiness blesses the dog. You may alternate between applying it to what you see around you and to those who are in your thoughts. Or you may use any combination of these 2 phases of application which you prefer. The practice period should conclude with a repetition of the idea made with your eyes closed, and another following immediately with your eyes open. The shorter exercises consist of repeating the idea as often as you can. My holiness blesses the world. It is particularly helpful to apply it silently to anyone you meet, using his name as you do so. It is essential to use the idea if anyone seems to cause an adverse reaction in you. Offer him the blessing of your holiness immediately, that you may learn to keep it in your own awareness. All right, well, that's pretty straightforward. Eyes open, eyes closed, inner world, outer world. One of the things you might like to do is just to read through the application instructions again to yourself and just get that straight in your head. It's pretty simple. And that's about it. So lesson 38, there is nothing my holiness cannot do. And that, to me, the next one, I'll probably discuss it more tomorrow, eh? Just going to run off on a little tangent there with a story. My holiness blesses the world. And if that's confronting, that's great. Let it be. If it brings up stuff, if these holiness lessons bring up stuff and make you feel uncomfortable, just remember that's fine. That's perfect. It's what it's meant to do. We're trying to dislodge that rusty old ego and retrain it to a new way to see everyone and everything, right? It's part of the mind. It's not your enemy. It's not your friend. It's not anything. It's just part of the mind that has been allowed to run autonomously and speak for something that has no reality whatsoever. It's like an imaginary friend, you know. But the ego is not your friend. It is cunning and suspicious and vicious and baffling, as far as one of my teachers used to say, baffling. And it is baffling, but once you come to see your own bag of tricks, once you come to understand the nature of ego consciousness, not that you can truly understand it because it's insane, but once you see that pattern that drags you out of your own inner peace all the time, you'll become more aware of where your healing is required, where you need to forgive yourself for allowing those things into consciousness, and let that all go, and become more adept at staying here, staying focused, finger on the nose, at your own inner peace, vigilance. Struggle to get that out. All right, I love you, and see you tomorrow, and we'll do it all again. In the idea of again. which is another ego trick. Bye.